Good morning, everyone. Fernando here, God's Prepared Warrior, and welcome to Monday morning. I am so glad that you guys are here today on this Monday watching this video, and I'm thankful because we made it over the weekend, right? A lot of things have been happening over the weekend and things like that. And all of you know all about Iran and what's happening there in that conflict. Iran has now retaliated, and they have been hitting U.S. bases that are stationed over there. And they have apparently, I don't know if this is true yet or not, but apparently they've hit one of the strike groups. And so I think they're trying to get further back or away. This is what I understand. So let's keep our troops in prayer. I believe, according to President Trump, that we have lost 3 of our military folks, and we want to keep their families in prayer. I think that's so important for us to do, is to lift up our military personnel and then those family members who have lost loved ones in this conflict. So all of that is happening, and we just need to continue to pray for that, because we know that God is in control and He is going to be creating the path for that thing, right? So today I want to talk about a little something that is kind of closer to home, especially to me, and I want all of you guys to understand that just like what has happened here in Texas can happen anywhere in the United States, and it could be just, part of what is happening over in the Middle East, and that and how we need to be ready for that situation. So today I want to talk about vigilance is not paranoia. This is what I want to talk about. So over the weekend in Austin, Texas, which is not really far from me, it's really, really close. But over the weekend there in Austin, Texas, a mass shooting on 6th Street left multiple people dead and many injured. Law enforcement responded really quickly and neutralized the suspect. And federal agencies are now investigating the motive, right? At the same time, tensions, remain high overseas because of Iran and all that happening, right? Israel and the United States have teamed up together to work over there. And so all of this kind of is escalating, right? Now, let's be clear. There is no confirmed evidence of coordinated sleeper cell activity inside the United States. It has been said and shared by those who are now in the podcasting space, who have worked with the military, worked with the CIA, worked with, those agencies, and are close and can say that there are these kinds of activities happening within the United States, right? But history shows something important, when global conflict, rises, right? We begin to see domestic tension, and it can rise with it, right? So this is not a time for Americans to be comfortable anymore. I can say it's so important for us to really be vigilant. It's a time to be vigilant, 100%, more on our toes than any other time ever, right? And so the reality is, when wars and things escalate, extremist sympathizers may feel, emboldened, right? Lone actors may act, they may act out ideological rage, right? You might even see copycat attackers who might exploit national tension, right? public gatherings become more vulnerable. And I truly believe that we are now living in a time where our vigilance is just so important. And, these public gatherings, though we may have used to do them a long time ago, everything was okay, they were fun, and, we were young, and it is totally different now. That doesn't mean that we panic. It doesn't. It just means that we become more aware of what is happening around us, right? This is my plea. This is my cry. This is my opportunity to share with you about being vigilant, right? Preparedness is not about predicting specific threats. It's about strengthening your readiness for uncertainty, right? When vigilance actually when you vigilantly are active in trying to protect, you and your family, there's action involved, right? Vigilance is not fear driven, and you just becoming suspicious of everyone around you. It's not that. It is situational awareness in public spaces, right? It's you being aware of what's happening around you, catching things that are just, not right. Your experience of that day, which maybe have been experiences previously, and all of a sudden now there's a glitch, or there's something different, or there's this gut feeling within you that says, today's not a normal day, right? Knowing your exits wherever you are important, right? Parking in well-lit areas is important. These are not just things that we say. These are things that we should be doing, right? We shouldn't anymore, I think, have predictable routines. I think we should change things up a little bit. Today I'm parked in a different spot in the parking lot today, here at work. I think that, we should be reporting, credible threats to authorities. I think that's important. If you see something happening, you should say something, right? It's calm, controlled awareness. That's important, right? I think that we should, if you have not, right, harden your personal sphere, right? You can't control things that are happening in our world, right? But you can control your preparedness, and I think that's so important. I think we should take steps, right? Steps to do those things, right? We should review our family's emergency plan, right? If something happened at a public event, where do you meet, right? Did you even have a plan before you went to this public event? And then how do you communicate, right? Sure, you can say, well, Fernando, I'm going to use my cell phone. Great. But what if cell phones go down? How are you going to communicate, right? I think we need to take even more steps to strengthen our home security. I think that's important, right? We should be adding lighting to our home. We should be adding cameras. We should be reinforcing the doors. We should have an alarm system, if you can afford that, right? I think we should be upgrading our medical readiness, right? Man, it's so important, because if you think about, I've seen video of what happened out in Austin, and there were so many people who were injured, so many people who perished, and there was the first responders. There were also civilians, right? Just regular day people helping those who were hurt and those who needed immediate medical assistance. And so, what have we done to learn medical readiness, right? Do we have the knowledge on how to apply a tourniquet? Did you know that if you have a tourniquet, you need a writing instrument to be able to write the time and the date on that tourniquet when applied? Did you even know that, right? What are the basics of that knowledge of using a tourniquet, right? What are the basics of trauma response, right? Do we know that? Am I telling you to dive in the deep end of the pool? No, I'm telling you to be prepared. That this is being vigilant, right? And do we have any kind of training for violent incidents, right? Have we even thought about it, right? Or are we of the bias of, well, I'm just a homebody, but, nothing's ever going to happen around me, right? Um, you know, we can all fall into that, right? So, do we even know what to do before first responders arrive? How can we be of assistance? I think it's important for us to at least learn the basics of first aid, of helping somebody who has been shot, somebody who has passed out. How do we, somebody who's choking, how do we help those people, right? So important for us to do. I think, as I always say, right, when I talk about being or stay vigilant, it's staying informed, right? But through credible sources, right? There are a number of channels that are retriable. I think that's the word. Channels that give out good information, and then there's channels that give out misinformation. So we need to avoid the rumor channels and the channels that really just don't have any of the information at all, right? And speculation, things like that. So the other thing that I want to kind of end with is we need mental and spiritual readiness. And guys, it is so important for us to be prepared in this way. Preparedness isn't about living in dread. It's about disciplined awareness, right? The scriptures remind us, 1 Peter 5:8, to be sober, be vigilant, right? The Bible tells us to be vigilant, right? Vigilance is a posture. Comfort is not the goal, right? Vigilance is the posture that we need, and comfort is not the goal. Stewardship is, right? It's important for us to be a warrior who is vigilant, right? The Austin shooting reminds us, of something really, really important, right? Threats don't announce themselves, right? Violence doesn't schedule appointments. I think that's just, we need to know that, right? They're just going to happen. And a lot of people will say, well, that's going to happen over there. It's not going to happen in my little town, or it's not going to happen near me until it does, right? Global conflict, can increase domestic tension like crazy, right? But preparedness is not fear. It is all responsibility, right? So strengthen your home, strengthen your skills. That is so important, guys. Strengthen your awareness. That is important. But while you are doing that, stay calm, stay disciplined, and always stay ready. All right? Guys, have a happy Monday. I am still in pain from over the weekend. I am taking today moment by moment. I'm not rushing through anything because now it's the cleanup. So, guys, have a great day. Have a great Monday. Hope to see you tonight on God's Prepared Warrior live stream. We go live tonight at 9 p.m. right here on YouTube. I will be setting that up here in a little while. Make sure that you join us tonight. It's going to be a good night. As always, join the community and hope to see you on our live stream tonight at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hope to see you there. All right, guys, have a great Monday, and hope to see you on the next video, if not tonight. God bless.